You've asked for it, and here we are, the first top 5 list on this channel. Hello, welcome back to Seldomly Often. I'm Daniel. Today we're talking fragrances, and these are my favorite scents from Q2 and Q3 2024. First and foremost, I really want to thank you all, my viewers. We are 2,000 subscribers. It's incredible. I started this channel a couple months ago, and I'm completely blown away by the appreciation and support. Funnily enough, this started almost as a joke. I was collecting far too many fragrances, and this was almost meant to be a deterrent for me, because I self-imposed that I would review every fragrance that I would purchase. Little did I know, I really started enjoying the process. And my plan is to review every fragrance that I actually do purchase and wear. I've always been an avid YouTube consumer, and I watch a ton of videos about whatever subject I'm into at that time. For fragrances, I really never found a channel that completely clicked for me, so I decided to make my own. My reviews are based on wears and first-hand experience. I wear and use all the fragrances that I purchase and that I plan to review. If there's something that I absolutely hate and I don't want to wear, I usually get rid of it, but those are far and few between. I do prefer the single fragrance highlight review just because it gives me a chance to talk about that fragrance in depth without the distraction of comparing it to anything else. I was never really interested in the list type video format. I'm overly saturated and overly bored by all those lists online. There's some content creators that only focus on lists. It's just incredibly tedious and repetitive. And ultimately, all these lists are nothing else but an incentive to buy. The content creator is not invested in each fragrance. They don't even probably wear each fragrance. So to me, this is a completely useless thing, and it's all BS. Now, you guys been asking for a list. I get it. I do enjoy lists for the content creators that I do respect. It's a way to understand their taste. It's a way to get to know them more. Thinking about my fragrance wardrobe, I really wanted to leverage the fact that it's an ever-changing thing. I try to somewhat keep the fragrance count under control. In order to do that, I have to rotate in and out stuff. So ultimately, my fragrance collection has changed a lot through the time. So I thought that maybe offering a twice a year top 5 favorites would make sense. Specifically, I decided to divide these in the warmer months and in the colder months. So basically, I'll be dividing these as Q2, Q3 of one year, and Q4 of the same year, and Q1 of the next year. I'm not completely excluding making more lists, but I have to find a theme, maybe by brand or by genre. I'm here to talk about my favorite fragrances, the fragrances that stuck to me and that intrigued me in this last period. Another disclaimer that I want to put out is that these are not my favorite fragrances of all time. I might eventually do a favorite fragrances of all time video, but on a repeated basis, it would probably feature the same fragrances all the time, and that's boring. So if any of the fragrances that I've hyped or I've talked about a lot in my videos are missing and you're questioning that choice, please know that the fragrances listed in this specific video or in these video types are fragrances that really clicked on me, maybe because I'm in the mood, maybe because they meant something to me this period, maybe because I wore them a lot, or whatever else. And all this is just to say that I'm trying to keep it interesting. As a matter of fact, to help myself through this process of selection, I made up 5 fictional categories. So I have the daily, the evening, the special, the lonely time, and the bonus. I'll get into what these categories mean when I talk about that specific fragrance. I say we get into it, I say we dive in. Let's start. The first category for me is the daily. And by daily, I mean the most dumb reach type fragrance. Now, if you know me, I don't really like dumb reach fragrances, but this one is the closest one to that concept. It's the fragrance that I can wear every day in pretty much any situation, casual to formal. I can wear it to the office, I can wear it to the gym. So my pick for the daily is Lorenzo Pazzaglia Sex Sea. I've been wearing this fragrance a ton this summer. I've been wearing it in any kind of situation. This is basically my default office scent. Obviously, I do wear a ton of fragrances for reviews and just for testing stuff out. But with every gap, this one was pretty much the fragrance I always reached for. It's simple, it's elegant, it's a very appreciable concept. It's very energizing and invigorating. It has this floral aspect that makes it very unisex and wearable. At the same time though, it's also quite unique. The slight marine note in the base has a funky tone that really blends in well with my skin chemistry. I truly wore this a lot to the degree that I'm actually scared of running out. I think there is a good amount in here still. It is a little pricey and difficult to find if you're not in Italy or neighboring countries. But if you're into marine scents, this is an absolutely excellent scent. It's an easy wear, it's non-offensive, and it's really, really good for many situations. I'm really into marine scents and even really heavy ones at that. but I could never wear a marine scent on a daily basis just because of where I live. Living in the mountains of Switzerland, a pure marine scent would feel a little bit out of place and not suited to the environment. Lorenzo Pazzaglia Sex Sea is the perfect combination of floral, citrusy, energetic, fruity, yet it has that slightly salty, funky marine ambergris accord in the base that really satisfies my craving. I can't recommend Lorenzo Pazzaglia and his sea line enough. These are amazing fragrances, they're well crafted, they're fun, they're unique, and they're totally worth the money. My second category is the evening. For my evening scent, I want something a little bit more characterful, a little bit more unique, and definitely a little bit more dense. My choice for evening scent is Aedes de Venustas Copal Azur. This is one of the most beautiful incense fragrances in my wardrobe collection recently. It's an incredible combination of cold incense, which is refreshing but dense, and fresh marine notes. This is a salty incense which is greatly suited for the summer nights in particular. This is amazing. I'm an incense junkie, it's my favorite note. This is very long lasting and I totally get my fix of incense every time I wear this. Although light enough and possibly suited for daily wear, this is unique enough where I wouldn't want to smell this all the time on myself. I think that incense is a polarizing note. Not everyone might be super into it. So I'd rather keep the use of incense for more formal occasions, maybe an evening out, maybe you go out for dinner, maybe there's an event or something like that. This really fits the evening vibe. It's actually really relaxing and perfectly suited for an evening type of mood where you want to unwind and you want to relax. Aedes de Venustas is an amazing brand. They perfectly strike the balance between power and elegance. All their fragrances are very unique and Bertrand Ducheffour absolutely knocked it out of the park with this one. The other fragrance that I have from Aedes de Venustas is Café Tabac, also from Bertrand Ducheffour. I almost wanted to include this, but I didn't really want to feature two fragrances from the same house. If you like incense, if you like the idea of a marine incense, this is an absolute banger. It's not cheap, but for 100 mLs, I think that the price is actually well worth it. This one here is a more mature, more serious, arguably better version of Zoologist Squid to me. And you know how much I love that, so that speaks volumes to the quality of this fragrance. It's easy to sample in the US. It's a US-based brand from New York. Get your nose on these because they're absolutely worth it. Next category is the special, and to me, special occasion fragrance is that fragrance that you're intentionally trying to restrict usage of. Now, this might be because it's very animalic, very unique, or outright expensive. To me, that special occasion fragrance comes out when you really want to showcase the best that you have. And the fragrance that I could absolutely not exclude from this list is Les Indemodables Ambre Supreme. It's a very simple aldehydic soapy fragrance with an ambergris backbone. The ambergris in here is actually its main selling point because this is actually one of the few fragrances on the market that has and features real ambergris. And I think we're talking about 10% real ambergris in here. Now, you could say that I'm seduced by the marketing, that all this is a placebo effect, and that modern ambergris accords, the synthetic ones, are just as good. And maybe it's all true, and I can't exclude that, but there's something about the way this fragrance wears, especially on skin, which is truly magical. The aldehydic soapiness in here really serves as an introduction to this ambergris base. And when you spray it on skin, you feel fresh, you feel clean, you feel elegant. And right after that, you start getting this musky C note on the bottom. This musky C note is one of the most addicting, alluring, and interesting notes I've ever smelled on a fragrance. The way they pull this off, the way it blends with your skin chemistry, it's absolutely incredible. L'Indemodables is known to be a no-compromise house, known for its high ingredients and just focus on high-quality perfumery. This comes at a cost, in my opinion. The cost is not necessarily the price of the fragrance, although these are quite pricey. They are $220 for 50 mLs, but the cost actually comes in the performance department. These fragrances don't really last a ton of time, and even my other bottle, which is arguably one of the more stronger ones, Vanille Havane, doesn't really last all day or as much as I would want it to. The longevity I get from Ambre Supreme is mild. I would say it's in the 5 to 6 hour range with 3 hours of good projection. After that, it becomes a skin scent. The skin scent phase of this fragrance is also absolutely beautiful though. I love smelling my arm. I love picking up that musky marine note. I get it, this is not for everyone. Not only you might not like the aldehydic opening, which might come across as feminine to some, the ambergris accord is very strong in this one, so you might be put off by that musky marine saltiness. But nonetheless, this fragrance really speaks to me. It has something about it that feels precious almost. I really cherish it. I haven't sprayed this a lot because I'm actively almost hoarding it and cherishing the moments that I will wear it. And every time I'm about to wear it, every time I think about wearing it, I almost start giggling uncontrollably. It's beautiful, it's exciting, it's unique, and to me, it's well worth the money and very, very special. All right, next category is the lonely. And what I mean by the lonely fragrance is the fragrance that you wear for yourself, first and foremost. You don't care about anyone else. You don't care about pleasing anyone else. All you want to do is wear something that intrigues you and that gives you a type of energy. It might be the fragrance that you wear in the evening, maybe the fragrance that you wear to bed, maybe the fragrance that you wear on a solo walk. This category is something that I cherish a lot. I really like wearing my experimental fragrances. I really like the Zen aspect of this. And my choice for my lonely fragrance is definitely Silver Oud from Amouage. By now, you know that I love Amouage. I have a ton of bottles that I absolutely adore and wear and cherish. And you might be asking yourself, why this one and not anyone else? So Silver Oud for me is a very strange fragrance. Although I have gone through 2 samples of this is one of the latest bottles that I picked up from the brand. There's something mystical about this fragrance almost, that it really excites me, at the same time it relaxes me and calms me down. This is a very introspective type of fragrance to me. It's deep, it's woody, it's animalic. At the same time, it's fresh, it's balsamic. It's incredibly long lasting. I usually wear this in the evening just because it suits a little bit more of an evening vibe, and I can definitely smell it the next morning. It's a beautiful fragrance that never ceases to amaze me. I actually don't find Silver Oud that challenging. I have many other fragrances that are way more difficult to wear. I almost have an understanding with this fragrance. It almost adapts to my mood perfectly every time. I really never regret wearing this. It's a beautiful experience every time, and it's something that I actively look forward to do. You might be asking yourself, do you actually wear Silver Oud in the summer? And at that, I would say that the lonely category is the category that is designed for all the weird fragrances that are absolutely off season. I don't really care about seasonal wear anyway. It's all about how I feel. I plan on wearing Silver Oud a lot more in the winter, although I have a ton of other dense fragrances that I really want to feature. And although this is one of the newer fragrances from the newest collections from the new creative director, Silver Oud to me really embodies Amouage as a brand and really represents Amouage as a brand. And it's why I like Amouage so much. I can't recommend Silver Oud enough. I'm really into animalic and weird fragrances. If this type of thing intrigues you, get your hands on a sample of Silver Oud. You owe it to yourself. Last category for this video is the bonus. So by bonus fragrance, I mean that fragrance that is extra. It might not be the fragrance that I wore the most, but it's the fragrance that intrigues me as a concept, that I like what it stands for. Maybe I like the brand, maybe I just want to support it. Overall, the bonus fragrance to me doesn't really have a utility. It's just something that I'm passionate about and that exudes passion. My pick for the bonus fragrance is Zoologist Bee. Zoologist Bee is one of the most amazing fragrances I laid my nose on. It's definitely, hands down, the most realistic representation of honey in a fragrance that I've ever smelled. This is literally like getting your nose into a jar of honey or smelling straight up a honeycomb. It's beautiful, it's floral, it's rich, it's dense, it's long-lasting, unisex. You can pretty much wear this year-round. It has this magical aspect to it which makes it incredibly unique, yet very compatible with most people's tastes. The weird honey note in the dry down becomes a little bit animalic, really to satisfy my craving for that funkiness. It's a beautiful, long-lasting, incredibly intriguing experience to me. I love wearing this, I love smelling it around me all day. It's just really exciting. To me, this category is also about the brand. Zoologist is a brand that I really want to support. I like Victor Wong's work, I like his idea, I like his passion, but to me Zoologist is also that much needed breath of fresh air in this fragrance landscape, in this fragrance community that is often too serious and just way too boring. Is this a scent for everyone? Absolutely not. To me, this is almost a statement piece fragrance. Zoologist as a brand to me is a statement piece. And yes, I'm a fan of the more weird and funky stuff, but for Zoologist especially, given the brand and given what they stand for, I really wanted to focus on the more weird scents. Recently, I got Bee, I got Hyrax, and T-Rex, and I've been really enjoying them all throughoutly. I almost wanted to pick one of the other two just because they're more fun and daring, but Bee really fits Zoologist as a brand, really represents Zoologist, and I thought it would be a better fit for the summer months because it is a little bit lighter and wearable. Still very unique and beautiful though. If you're a fragrance lover and you live in a place where Zoologist is available and you haven't sampled it, you owe it to yourself. This is very much art in a bottle, and it's definitely worth experiencing. Alright, I guess we're done with the first list. I hope this was satisfactory. Please leave in the comment any suggestions, opinions, or anything else. Do you like this format? Do you want more of this format? What do you think is the better, unique take on this format that you would like to see? I'm happy to hear you all out, and I'll definitely evaluate all your suggestions. A lot of the fragrances that I featured in this video are not yet reviewed, but fear not, reviews will come. This is a thing of mine. I will review every fragrance that I own, even if it takes a little bit. I really want to do these justice, and sometimes it just takes a little bit more time to gather my thoughts or my words. And I really have to also be in the mood to review these. I guess I'm done here. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for your support, your watch time, your likes, your comments. It means a ton to me. I really like this process and I want to keep doing it and get better at it. I might reduce the frequency of uploads in the future, but fear not, this comes at a trade-off of higher production quality. I also want to introduce new formats, and actually there's something coming very soon. But if you have any suggestions, any requests, shoot out and I'll evaluate. Thanks again, many more videos to come, many more fragrances to review. As per usual, see you in the next video, and cheers.